In this FC25 Squad Selector Explained Ultimate Team video, I want to walk you through what Squad Selector is and why you may want to use it. So if you're working on testing different formations, or you're working on an objective and you don't want to ruin like your best team, you could use Squad Selector to switch between other teams. So you could say, look, this is my main squad. So you can see it says main at the minute, and I'm fairly happy with that squad there. You can see pretty solid looking team there. This one I'm playing with a 5-3-2. Maybe I want to try out a different formation, or maybe I want to work on an objective. So to do that, what we could do is just change this or create another squad. So we could work with this, or we could create one entirely from scratch. And the way we do this on the left hand side, so we're in the squad view of Ultimate Team, of course, but on the left hand side, squad actions, just underneath where it says main, L3, and then there is Squad Selector. So Squad Selector, you can see we've got the main squad here. We can create an entirely new squad from scratch, or what you may often want to do is just have a copy of this squad. And if you look down the bottom, you've got your options. So copy squad, I can hit that little button on my controller, the little kind of menu button or whatever it is. So I'm going to copy it, and it'll by default say copy of main. So that would be good. But let's say I want to play around with a new formation. So I want to do, I don't know, let's say I want to do 4-3-3. -4. So let's see if I can do that. Oh, no, it's not going to let me do that. We'll have to go here. And I just want to experiment with that. So I'll go with that. So I've got a copy of my current squad. You can see the formation is 5-3-2 at the minute. But now I'm going to select it. So down the bottom left-hand side, select squad with X. And you can see on the left-hand side now, at the top left, it says 4-3-3-4. So I've got that squad, exactly the same as what we had before, just named something other than main. But now I can go in here and start thinking about, okay, let's change the formation of this squad. So L3 on the left-hand side, let's change the formation. And I wanted to play with that 4-3-3-4 formation and see whether we could get a more interesting sort of dynamic here. So we'll go with this and say select. We'll say yes. And now I'm free to start messing around with this. So I'll hit L3 again to come back to this screen here. And then I could start thinking about how I should organize things here. So we'll have this dude here on the left. Well, actually, I'm going to have not that one. But you get the idea. Let's put Robbo there, for example. Centre back's fine. Centre back, right back is fine. Oh, there's Rolfo. I forgot I had 5 at the back. So that's who I was actually looking for. So we'll put Rolfo in there. Trent can't play a CM role, so what I'm going to do is move Trent to the RB role there. We've got a right back there who's now out of position, and a left back, so neither can play those positions. So I'm going to have a little look and see who else we've got just for speed. These are not the the default players that I would chuck in these positions. Just illustrating the point for you. So we'll say those two there. We've got Harry Kane up front. Muriel can't play that position. Just trying to see whether he does anything else. Not really. So we need a left winger. And we'll go with Maradona can play left wing, which is nice. And Horan can't play right wing. So we'll have a little look here. So Mahrez there. So there's a 4-4-2 that I'm fairly happy with. But the squad selector is then enabling me to use that whenever I want. So another thing you might say is, oh, I need to have... like, for example, there's a squad building challenge saying I need Brazil players, 2 of them in the team. So maybe I would say, actually, I need to make sure that's in this particular team as well. So we could have a little look, see where's my best rated Brazilian. We got Edison, but it's no good because we got Alisson in goal. I need a second Brazilian. We could tweak this, but Lino there, left midfielder. So we'll chuck him in for Rolfo, and that would fulfill that thing there. So let's say I'm happy with that. I could then, that's now my default squad because that's the one I've picked. You can see when we go out to here, it's the 4-3-3-4. But we can use that squad selector to switch between the 2 of them. So we can go up here, squad actions, squad selector, and then switch to the other one if we want, like so. And there's that 5-3-2 formation. So you can also see that the squad selector tells you what the formation is here. So you don't need to call it the formation. You can call it whatever you want. Just while we're here, if we wanted to call that something else, we could just hit rename and go in there and change that. You could also copy this the same as we did before, all sorts of stuff like that. You can also go around with concept squads. So you can create a new squad and work with concept players just to plan something. So these are concept squads where you can just work with any players that you want. And it looks like I've got somewhere I've sold players But I could create a new concept here and say start from scratch. Let's just, I don't know, I'm just going to call that D for the minute. DFT. That'll do. But just to show you that you could go into here and search and say, we've got concept players is off at the minute, but let's turn them on. And we can see who's the best at stuff. So we can see that these are the best cards in FC25 at the minute. So we could say, look, I don't own Bellingham at the minute, but I want to see if I built up a team, where would Bellingham make sense? He's a CAM, but he can play CM as well. And then if you hit striker, for example, who's the best striker? We could say it's Wilson and Mbappe. So we could chuck them in like this. And this is purely for planning purposes, but you could, see, would chemistry be good between these players if you just automatically put in the best players, or would you need to work out, sort of better links between them? Probably. But I'm just going to show you that you could quickly just build a brilliant team here using these concept players just to see, how well they would work together. And I'm guessing not that well unless we actually concentrate and build it properly. But you could see this team would be a whopping 95 rated team if we could develop there, but only 16 chemistry in that formation. So you'd then start thinking about, oh, I need more French players to improve that, or more Premier League players, or whatever you see fit. So that's the main things, but just bear in mind with the squad selector, that top bar there, that's squads that you can actually play with. Concept squads are purely planning purposes. Hopefully that makes sense to you with the squad selector, and hopefully it shows you why it's useful. Just remember that you want to be switching to whatever squad you want to play with. So let's say I want to play with that one. Now I'm good to play. There you go, my friends. I hope that helped you out. If you did, thumbs up, please. Much appreciated. Any comments, welcome. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what I do, hit that subscribe, will you? Thanks.